Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Blitz5 and today I want to talk about the controversy surrounding Far Cry Primal. So if you haven't read about this or seen it online, basically players found out that Far Cry Primal has the same exact map as Far Cry 4. So as you can see in the picture here, the rivers, the lakes, and just the regions of the maps are in the exact same spot. So what this means is that Ubisoft, the creator of Far Cry, just took this map from Far Cry 4 and spun it out to use to make Far Cry Primal. And obviously in the grand scheme of things, this isn't a huge deal or a big controversy, but in the gaming community, this is a pretty big deal and it's kind of unfortunate to see, and a lot of people are pretty upset with it, especially fans of the Far Cry series. I have Far Cry Primal and I've been playing it and I think it's a great game, but I'm not a diehard fan of the series and I still think that this is pretty messed up that they just copied it over to create this game. It's just crazy to me that all these publishers and studios focus on publishing these games every year and they just kind of don't care about the quality of the game or what they're doing. And I get it, it does take a long time to make these games, so being able to reuse certain things does help a lot, but games already do that. They usually already have a coding for a tree or the grass and they kind of just like copy and paste it and do that over and over again. I'm sure there's some things that they were able to take from the other Far Cry series to make this build a little bit faster. So it's just disappointing to see, and you can see everybody online kind of mocking this game already because it was just a recycled version of the game and people already had their doubts before the game came out, but now that this report has been published and these pictures have been published, it's even worse and people are kind of just shitting on the game at this point. I mean, in all honesty, I'm really enjoying the game, so I don't view it that big of a negative. And obviously, the game isn't exactly copied. They had to reskin it, like I said, and change it. It's a completely different game than the previous Far Cry's. You know, it's a primal, prehistoric game, so the weapons are different. There's no like machine guns. There's no cars. So all the animals and all that stuff had to be built into the game. And that AI, I guess, you know, I'm sure it had to be tweaked a little bit to have an animal versus a regular AI character, like human character. But like I said, it's just really bad, and seeing this from Ubisoft, who's had a lot of issues with Assassin's Creed and other games, and just trying to launch games every year, I don't get why companies are doing this, and a lot of people are getting fed up with it, that they can't come out with these unique games, and why they have to come out with a game every year. There's just so many different angles to this that you could take from, you know, why do they come out with the game every year that's just going to be like copy and pasted? If they don't have the time, then they could just make a really great 10-hour game, or why don't you just wait 3 years and make a 100 or 200-hour game that everybody can enjoy for a really long time and then make DLC on top of it? I guess I kind of already know the answers to this because it's a very complicated system, the video game industry. A lot of people are disappointed with it right now, but there's so many different layers from the studio to the publisher. For example, you have like Activision Blizzard, who creates Call of Duty. A lot of people are upset with the Call of Duty franchise. To relate this to Far Cry, I just know more about Activision Blizzard than I do Ubisoft and their publisher and the different studios. So I'm trying to relate it to this video. But Activision, you know, well, Infinity Ward and Treyarch, they are the companies, the studios that are making Call of Duty. But it's not their choice on when to publish it and what exactly to do. Activision Blizzard and the heads of these companies and the corporate people, they're the ones that say, like, you know, I'm sure they have meetings and talk with each other, but they have the ultimate decision on Call of Duty's coming out every year. You're going to be doing it every other year. It doesn't matter if it's a little buggy or you have to copy and paste. We need to put a product out every year to make money, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. So that kind of sucks because people might hate on the studio that made this game, but they might have been forced to put this out when they just didn't have the manpower or the time. And not only to include the fact that the video game industry is notorious for like long hours and not paying people enough who are making these awesome games. And you would think it would be different because the video game industry is so big that, you know, things would change. Video games have like surpassed most movies, so you think that they would have some leverage on their side because it's so popular and it's just been opened up to the public. You know, video games used to be more of like a niche thing and now everybody knows about the games. They see the commercials on TV. A lot of different people and age groups play video games. So it's just like this long continuous cycle. But going back to Far Cry, I am disappointed that they did this. It doesn't really change my view on the game. I'm really enjoying it and having a lot of fun. But I just wanted to make this video to share my opinion and see what you guys think as well. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, the game is still great and it plays great and it doesn't really affect it. People who played Far Cry 4, I didn't even notice that it was the same map. It's so hard to tell when there's the jungle and so many different aspects to it. And when you're running around, you don't really get the view from up top. You're kind of learning the map as you go around. And obviously that aspect, like the ins and outs of the map have changed drastically. So I don't think it's like an end-all be-all or should stop anyone from getting the game, but it's just kind of embarrassing that they got caught doing it and that they didn't admit it. It wasn't like they marketed this as saying like, oh, it's Far Cry, it's in the same location as Far Cry 4, but 12,000 years earlier in 10,000 BC. It's not like that at all. They totally just ripped this off and they got caught. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like. Thank you again, and check out my other Far Cry videos or any other video game related content that's on my page. As always, I'm Blitz5. Peace out.